Scientists tell us that the coronavirus, like other viruses, is incredibly small. We can't see it with the naked eye, we can't feel it, we can't smell it, we can't touch it. It is incredibly small. And they say that if it was the size of a 5-cent coin, then a human person would stand some 200 kilometers tall. A reminder of just how small it is. And it has no brain, and it latches onto human person, especially exploits those who are vulnerable and weak. And it further exploits systems where poor health is provided to those in need, sometimes due to race, ethnicity, or migration, or those seeking asylum. It is so small, and yet it has done so much harm. More than 1.5 million deaths across the world, 900 deaths within our country. And as Jesuits, more than 50 Jesuits have died across the world this past year. And in response to the virus, we have responded as a nation with all the difficulties of border crossings and lockdowns and ways that we were prevented from doing the things we wanted to do. We have responded in small ways, 3 mainly: washing of our hands, wearing masks, and keeping social distancing. And those small steps have made an enormous difference to the health of our nation. So that now we approach the festive season of Christmas with a hope we weren't sure we would have some months ago. The birth of Jesus some 2,000 years ago was in itself a very small event. Born into a town of Bethlehem, which probably had a population of around 1,500 people at that time. His birth at that time was quite unremarkable. One birth amongst the billions of people who have lived on this earth before then and since then. One birth amongst many. And yet that birth has changed the world. And it's changed the world because in his gift of life, his presence amongst us, he has reminded us that in everything we are and in everything we do, the divine lives amongst us. The great grace of the divine entering our world from creation, from the beginning, but to believe more passionately and personally that the life of the divine, the life of God, the gift of Christ lives within each one of us. As we move to the season of Christmas, we know that in the days to come and in the years to come, it'll continue to be small steps to protect ourselves from sickness, to protect others, but also to be reminded that it is in those small ways that the divine touches us, enters our life, blesses us with joy for the world. Let heaven and nature sing, says the hymn, and let us sing because the divine has joined us and is with us in every small step and gesture we make. As you know, this is my last video and recording for Australian Jesuit News as Provincial. Because of the 1st of January next year, Quinn Vu will replace me as the Provincial for the Australian Province. I'd like to simply thank you for listening to these videos over the last few months and years. I thank you for being part of this gift of God's life to our planet, to our earth, to our church. I wish you all a good rest, which is something I think we all need this summer. But above all, I pray for the grace that each of us will know in the small things, the small steps, the small gestures of our lives, to really feel and believe and know the touch of the divine, the love of Christ, presence of God, and the company of each other for the future together. a blessed Christmas to you, to your families, and to all you love.